Okay. Are we live? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Trying to prepare myself here. Make sure we got audio. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Good evening. Sorry to kind of come on late. Hey, Diamond, how you doing? Diggs, Bridget, me, you. I wanted to kind of cover this story briefly. It's not getting much attention, but the outcome looks pretty bad. There's some press conferences, two kind of short, and some details about this mother and this girl, 6-year-old from Minnesota. The mother was found dead. I'm going to take you through the timeline here in a second. And let me see. Something like that here. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hey, Ziggy. Shay. Thanks. So I'm going to take you through some of the timeline. This mother was found dead. They believe she offed herself, if you know what I mean. But the timeline kind of is concerning because this girl, I think it's Elle pronounced. It might not be Ellie. I think it's Elle. She was last seen Sunday, June 19th. And the mother's phone pinged in that river area June 21st. And Ellie's nowhere to be seen. And then, of course, they're saying too that the mother, before she was found deceased, she was seen on video several times without the girl, which is like, how many of these stories have we covered where you see, parents after the fact with no kid? Reminds me a little bit of Harmony, where, they were seen after without Harmony and stuff like that, I think. So let me just, let's start over here. And then we'll get into the press conference and some of the news videos. And I'm just trying to get myself into the habit of coming on. Almost didn't come on today, but I was like, I got to come on. And I also got to read the super chats from yesterday. Sorry about that. I forgot the super chats. And I got to fix my sound. But anyway, so Ellie was last seen Sunday, June 19. And on June 21st at about noon, Lisa Wade drove from her home in Northfield to Mississippi River Park in Stearns County, just outside of Rice, Minnesota, in her black Honda CRV. We learned this information from her cell phone records obtained by a search warrant. So it's about, move myself out of the way, about 2 hours or so and almost about 100 something miles away. This is the home here in Northfield. All right. Northfield. All right. And the cell phone and everything pinged over here, Mississippi River, which already looks sus as hell, right? So June 21st, that's, let me just double check here. June 21st is Tuesday, and that Sunday on the 19th is when the last time Elle was seen. At about 3 p.m., her cell phone shut off in the area of the park and has not turned on since that time. On June 23rd, at about 9 a.m., Stearns County Deputy had contact with Lisa in the park near her parked vehicle. She told the deputy that she lost her phone and car keys while hiking in the park and needed assistance. She was alone at the time. The deputy assisted her in arranging for a tow for the vehicle to the dealership near St. Cloud to get a new key made for the vehicle. During the week of June 25th, Lisa had no contact with family members and seemed distraught. Another thing that I saw in one of the videos that I think, we say they love my reading. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but another one of the things that the news said is that they had supposedly a close relationship, the mother and daughter. I don't know where the father is in the picture. Somebody had sent me his Facebook, but I don't know. I haven't confirmed it myself, but I don't think that he's posted anything about this. It also says, let's see here. When officers learned of the Mississippi Park location, teams of canines, drones, dive teams, boats, underwater search drones, along with public safety search teams searched the park and the Mississippi River. The search revealed evidence related to the case, including the discovery of Elle's cell phone on land. So I guess the girl, the 6-year-old, I just, yo, Debbie, I'm gonna hit you up. I saw your messages. I know you sent me your number. I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna do it. Maybe on a weekend or something. So they find Elle's, the girl's cell phone on land, and Lisa's cell phone and purse containing her driver's license and vehicle key fob in the river. So again, suspect as hell. Seems to me the obvious, like she discarded her stuff in the river. Then she runs into this deputy and she's like, oh, I lost my stuff. All right. The search of the park and river is ongoing, and the park and this portion of the river is closed to the public at this time, which I read somewhere else that it's actually open now. Not too sure. By the order of Stearns County Sheriff, investigators have been able to locate video of Lisa between June 23rd and July 2nd at various locations, but Elle was not seen with her at any of those times. Okay, so, I mean, to me, mom has to know what happened. An autopsy was performed on Lisa Wade, and we're waiting lab results for the final autopsy report. BCA Crime Lab has completed processing of the home and lab analysis and is pending, and any items of evidence recovered from her home. Additional analysis of her vehicle is in process. Lab analysis of the items recovered at the park is in progress. All right. I'm going to play this clip before I play the presser. There's kind of two somewhat pressers, because there's this one where he talks. This was on July 5th. And then he also went like on a radio station, and it's like 8 minutes long or something like that. And there's also, she left a note, a kill yourself note, if you know what I mean. The mother left a suicide note. So we're going to get to that too.
The search for a missing child in Northfield will continue. 6-year-old Elle Ragin hasn't been seen since yesterday, when her mother's body was discovered in their home. Law enforcement have been searching the area near Ford and Maple Street in Northfield. David Schumann has the latest on the search and reaction from neighbors.
Debbie.
A community feeling ever more desperate to find Elle Ragin as the search for the 6-year-old will extend into its 3rd day.
I hope she shows up. I hope they find her. I hope she's safe.
Obviously very difficult. Yeah. Certainly from the department, our hopes and our prayers are that we will be able to find Elle safe somewhere.
Elle's mother, Lisa Wade, was found dead in their home this weekend from an apparent suicide. Officers believe she could have been involved in her daughter's disappearance.
Authorities are processing the family home and vehicle for clues of her disappearance, and have conducted searches within the area with canine teams, drones, and the State Patrol helicopter, all of which had negative results.
The home is where police say the last verified sighting of Elle was 2 weeks ago. They're asking anyone who's seen her or her mother since then to please call them.
Oh, my bad. Turn it up. Sorry about that.
Officers say they've spoken to Elle's friends, classmates, and family members, as well as neighbors.
This girl's life is going to be forever changed. You know, what happened to her mom, and who knows what's going on in her life. It seems very chaotic, very sad, and I just hope that she's found, she's okay.
Northfield's police chief addressed the questions of why no Amber Alert's been sent out for
no Amber Alert. That's interesting.
Elle. He said those are used for abductions when there's information about a suspect or a vehicle, which they don't have right now. He said a missing persons alert has been sent out to the community as well as to law enforcement. In Northfield, David Schumann, WCCO 4 News.
All right, so let's check out the presser.
As of this, an update. As I said, I'll start out with just a brief recap.
So this is from July 5th.
So this is an update on the investigation of missing 6-year-old Elle Ragin. As of this time, authorities have been unable to locate Elle. We continue to ask for the public's assistance in sharing any information that they have concerning the disappearance of Elle Ragin or her current whereabouts. Officers and agents have followed up on hundreds of leads and case information that have developed in the past 3 days, and this was first reported on July 2nd at about noon. A recap of that original call is that the Northfield Police Department was sent to a residence at 604 Maplebrook Court in Northfield by a call from an extended family member. Police discovered an apparent suicide of the 39-year-old resident that was ID'd as Lisa Wade. We were unable to locate Wade's 6-year-old daughter, Elle Ragin, at that time. Police searched the house and surrounding area with officers, canine teams, drones, and a helicopter. We did not locate Elle or any other evidence outside of the home. The initial investigation revealed that Wade may have been involved in the disappearance of her 6-year-old daughter before taking her own life. Since that time, the investigation has continued, and it has revealed the following information. Elle was last seen on Sunday, June 19th. On June 21st at about noon, Lisa Wade drove from her home in Northfield to Mississippi River Park in Stearns County, just outside of Rice, Minnesota. We learned this information obtained through cell phone records that were obtained through a search warrant. At about 3 p.m. on that day, her cell phone shut off in the area of the park and has not turned on since that time. On June 23rd at about 9 a.m., Stearns County Deputy had contact with Lisa in the park, and at that time, her vehicle was parked at the park. She told the deputy she lost her phone and car keys while hiking the trails in the park and she needed assistance. She was alone at that time, and the deputy assisted her in arranging for a tow for her vehicle to a local dealership to get a new key. During the week of June 25th, Lisa had contact with family members and seemed distraught. When officers learned of the Mississippi Park location, teams of canines, drones, dive teams, underwater search drones, along with public safety search teams searched the park and the Mississippi River. The search revealed evidence related to this case, including the discovery of Elle's cell phone on land and Lisa's cell phone and purse containing her driver's license and vehicle key fob in the river.
I wonder why the mother would dispose of her stuff. Police believe it's suicide. I see Bridget asking if it's confirmed. The police believe it's suicide, but they're performing an autopsy and they're waiting on the results. And the other lab stuff is pending. And I just don't understand what would be the point. I don't know, maybe in the chat, what would be the point of the mother if she did do what she did of tossing her the key fob and the purse and I guess the cell phone. She does look like Malia Davis.
The search of the park and the river is ongoing, and the park in this portion of the river is closed to the public at this time by order of the Stearns County Sheriff. Investigators have been able to locate video of Lisa between June 23rd and July 2nd at various locations, but Elle was not seen with her at any of those times. An autopsy was performed on Lisa Wade, and we are awaiting lab results for the final autopsy report. The BCA Crime Lab has completed processing of the home, and lab analysis is pending on any items of evidence that we've recovered, as well as additional analysis of her vehicle. Lab analysis of the items that were recovered in the park is also pending. This is an open and active investigation. We will have updates and new information as it's discovered, and we'll be sure to update you folks.
Mom was found Saturday, July 2nd. So Elle was last seen Sunday, June 19th. The mother's cell phone, Lisa, pinged at the river June 21st. And Saturday, July 2nd, I believe, was the body was found. The mother's body was found, Lisa, and that's because the family had done a welfare check for Lisa because they hadn't heard from her. And so that's how they found her body. And so if Elle is dead, it must have been days prior, I guess. And, then the mother goes to the river to do what she did. That's what it seems like. I don't know, just based off of the timeline.
We are continuing to get a very high level of support from the Rice and Stearns County Sheriff's Department, the Minnesota BCA,
Where's the
and
father?
the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Minneapolis Field Office. And with that, I will take a few questions.
You have reason to believe at this point that Elle's body
Let me bump it up for you guys because the questions are a lot lower. Still got to fix my volume on this.
may still be then in the park or in the river.
Yeah, with the information I provided, obviously we don't know that for sure, but we think it's a pretty good guess, and that's where we've concentrated our search efforts at this time.
When the family members said she was distraught, did they elaborate? Was there anything you could share about how she was distraught or what about?
Yeah, there's nothing I can share at this time about that.
I guess in that same vein, is there anything you can share about the relationship between the mother and daughter, and if those family members may have said anything that would have led to what this outcome may possibly be?
Yeah, what has been described to us is that Elle and her mother had a very close relationship, that it was very uncommon to have one seen without the other. Outside of work or school, where they would be separated, it was just very, very uncommon to see one without the other.
It was super odd, close relationship, always together. The hell happened?
When we talked to you on Sunday, you were holding out hope that you would find her alive. In the last 24 hours, has that changed?
We are still extremely hopeful, but based on the information and the evidence we have at this time, we are concerned that we may not be able to find her.
When the deputy encountered her in the park, was she in her car, outside her car? What was she doing?
She was outside of her car. A park maintenance employee actually encountered her first and contacted the deputy. So she was outside of her car. She was conversational with the deputy at that time as far as needing assistance with being locked out of her car. That's something that I would say would not be all that uncommon for law enforcement, especially when you start talking rural, around county or state parks, that occasionally people lose their keys, that type of thing. So I would say that the encounter seemed appropriate at that time.
You said her keys and her phone were found in the river or in the park?
They were found in the river.
How close were they to Elle's phone in the river?
They were not in the immediate location, same location, but they were within the park.
Was Elle's phone in the river too, or in the park?
Elle's phone was found on land, and it was not an active cell phone.
So Elle's river, the 6-year-old girl, hers is in the river. I believe the mother's phone, and was it purse or key fob? Yeah, her phone and keys to the car. I thought they said purse too. I thought that was found on land. I think that's what he just said. And then he also said that the phone was not active. And so that's the thing too. I saw some people in the chat talking about why would a 6-year-old have a cell phone? A lot of kids have phones these days. Like, the generation is just different. And then he also said it's not active. So some people just have phones just to, or they have it for their kids just to play video games. That's what my daughter has it for. Video games, videos, whatever. And in this case, it seems like it could help the case maybe because they were able to track her phone there, I guess. So.
Are you aware of anything that would have changed in Lisa's life recently that would have created an atmosphere for anything that could have happened? I mean, obviously, something that led to suicide.
I would say that that's obviously a focal point for our investigation, and that we are continuing to look into that.
What areas did you have her on video when the child wasn't present?
That's not something we'll discuss at this.
Well, Mystified is saying, what if it's not the mother? What if the mother met up with somebody or somebody did harm to both of them? Yeah, I feel like we need to know more about the background in their life, which, I mean, from what I see, there's not much so far what I've seen, unless somebody comes forward, family or friends or somebody. I did see one post on Facebook. Somebody named Sarah posted. Oh, I think there's a Facebook group. Yeah, there's a group. Somebody here said to Lisa and Elle, to us, Lisa and Elle were kind, caring, thoughtful, strong women whom loved each other more than anything. As stories continue to unfold, it's hard to process or even imagine these situations they're describing. Please remember them as they were, not as what the media says. Negative comments are necessary in these difficult times. Maybe that's somebody that knows them. I live in the community. I didn't have the pleasure of knowing them. My heart goes out to them. I'm curious for the people that knew the mother, if they're going to make any comments. I'm going to have them search this Facebook group while I'm doing this.
This time.
Have you been able to find any?
You did leave a note, by the way. There's a suicide note or something. We're going to get into that after. Yep.
Who were in the park that saw them there that day?
We have not talked to any witnesses that
note.
would have seen her in the park. Certainly, we would encourage folks, if they have had contact with her or had contact with her at the park, to let us know that.
I would assume that a fairly well-used park. You would think that there would have been some people there that day at the same time?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Stearns County parks, so hard for me to say. It is fairly rural. It's outside of Rice, which is a small town, north of Sartell, St. Cloud area, but fairly rural.
Did she have any other connections to that area that would bring her there?
Not that we're aware of at this time.
What's next?
Well, we're going to continue a very diligent investigation, especially around that park area. I think some of your news helicopters have been up there today, and certainly we've had search teams out there, and we'll continue to do that. At this point, we've spent well over a day and a half now searching the river in that area. But we'll continue to look there as well as follow up on any other leads and tips. I know we've gotten tips that continue to come in, and we're continuing to follow up on those.
So there's people in that Facebook group too and that sent this earlier. Bryce, or maybe I shouldn't say whatever, right? There's somebody here supposedly on Facebook that was sent to me earlier, but at the time when I looked, he had not made one post yet about the situation. Then they're tagging the aunt as well, or let's see, the aunt, yeah. I'm going to keep searching though, because I'm kind of curious if any family has said anything about it.
Kids?
Pardon me?
Do you have kids?
I do have kids.
We appreciate your info as a law enforcement officer, but as a father, as a community member, where's your heart and your head right now?
This is difficult. This is a very difficult investigation for everybody we have on this team. Whether they have kids, their nieces, nephews. This is a heartbreaking case. 6-year-old being missing. I can't think of one that is much more difficult to investigate than this.
So people are kind of wondering, because there's some people who are saying, I'm just looking at some of the comments on Facebook, and some people are saying this is obvious. They believe the mother killed the girl and then killed herself. But there's somebody else saying that they just have a hard time believing it because they had such a close connection. And then somebody else commented here and it said, last week here in Virginia, a dad left his son in a hot car and went to work. Assuming he forgot, the son died and the dad went home and killed himself. Could have been accidental. Or they even put the article to that. Holy crap. We're going to check that out after. That's Rose.
The park is the focal point of your investigation. Are there any other areas still in the Northfield area that you're searching?
We don't have any other solid leads at this point that put a geographic location in Northfield. Like I said, that initial search revolved around the home, and it did not reveal any information that was useful outside of the home.
Chief, do you think the two were there alone, or do you think there's somebody else maybe with them? Are you looking for anyone else?
That would be speculation, but at this time, I don't believe we have any information that would lead us to believe that there is somebody else involved with Elle's disappearance.
How long will that park be closed off and searched?
That will depend on the search teams that are there. We have some very experienced search teams up there, and once they get to the point that they feel that their physical search and the technology that they use to assist them has satisfactorily cleared that area, they'll be clear from that.
What kinds of searches continue then?
At this time in the park, it is focused on river search.
Sonar, that sort of thing?
Yes. And I haven't ever been part of a underwater search team, but as I understand, they have some pretty advanced technology as far as side sonar location for underwater, and they are making the most of using those resources.
So what agencies then are all involved in specifically searching in the water?
I hate to leave any out, but some that I'm aware of, obviously the Stearns and Benton County dive team has been up there. Minnesota Search and Rescue, which has both bloodhounds, cadaver dogs that search both land and water. They've been very involved with this. They have some sonar. Okay. Thank you, folks. If I missed you when you came in, if you put your press conference or press contact info on that sheet, I'll make sure you get a press release of this update, as well as any future updates. Thanks for coming, and thanks.
All right. There is so let me get to the note, and then we'll listen to the police chief. Also, I think it's the same guy. Is that him? Yeah, I think it's the same guy that went on the radio station too, and he gave, I think, some more information. I haven't listened to it yet. So the note says Northfield Chief of Police Mark Elliott has confirmed reports that a suicide note was found with the body of Lisa Wade, the mother of missing 6-year-old. The note quoted as saying, "Ellie is dead. I love you all. I'm so sorry. Chief Elliott said that was the entirety of what was written, which I'm kind of like, that's it? Just one thing, I guess. Reports also say blood and hair were found in a garbage can in the garage of Wade's residence. Elliott said the amounts were not significant enough to be helpful to the investigation. On Tuesday, during a press conference, Elliott revealed that Wade had traveled to Mississippi River Park in Stearns County, shut off her phone, and evidently stayed in the park. What? Evidently stayed in the park for 2 days. She was doing for 2 days there. She then told the sheriff's deputy that she had lost her keys and phone while hiking and received assistance. So she had plenty of time to do whatever it is she was doing. She told the sheriff's deputy that she had lost her keys and phone while hiking and received assistance getting her car to a dealership where she was able to obtain a new key. Elliott also said yesterday that the search in Stearns County along the Mississippi has concluded. While the searches did find Elle's cell phone on the shore and Wade's purse with her keys, phone, and ID in the river, nothing else was discovered. Despite the information left in the note, Elliott has maintained hope that Elle would be found alive, even wondering if the information in the note is accurate. Weird shit. So I don't know. I'd be curious to know if they've matched, like, did they match her handwriting? Like, did they get some handwriting analysis done to match what she normally writes like to the note that was found? Because a note, you would think, is pretty clear, cut, and dry. Elle is dead. I love you all. I'm so sorry. I wish we could see it. But then over here, he's questioning, even wondering if the information in the note is accurate. The note raises more questions. If her daughter had died and Wade knew where she was, why wouldn't she have offered directions to find the girl's body before taking her own life? While the evidence clearly points to one conclusion, Elliott said without the discovery of her body, hope remains, however slight, that Elle could still be alive. This is a tough case. I think everybody in the public knows that. I certainly heard from a lot of people around town and they're concerned. It's heartbreaking. We're still hopeful that we can locate Elle. Maybe Lisa, the mother, sent her with some friends or something like that. But at this point, we just don't have any evidence that's the case. So let's listen to the little radio thing here. There was some other post being shared with me as well. All right. Investigators have been able to locate video of Lisa between June 23rd and July 2nd at various locations, but Elle was not seen at any of those locations. So Elle was last seen June 19th, and then between June 23rd and July 2nd, They see the mother on video at multiple occasions. They don't see this little girl. Could be the browser. Let me just use a different one. Oh shit, it's not working now. What? Am I still online? Yeah. Let me double check the link again. Let me try a different post. Amazing. Shit was just working before I went live. But you know what? Yeah, let me pull up this interview. Let me try this link. Oh, they're down. The website's down. That sucks because I really wanted to listen to that. All right. All right. All right, let me do this clip then. And
the search for missing 6-year-old Elle Ragin has moved from her home in Northfield to a county park 100 miles northwest outside Sartell. Police started searching for Elle this past weekend, but they said today she hasn't been seen for more than 2 weeks. Jennifer Hoff has an update from the place where police have found some evidence.
Investigators are combing this park about 15 miles north of St. Cloud, while dive teams are searching the Mississippi River just beyond the tree line there. They've already found Elle's cell phone and even some of her mother's belongings here, a person police say played a role in her disappearance. On the Mississippi, a meticulous search is playing out in Stearns and Benton counties, catching the attention of people who live nearby.
For the past few days, we've been seeing just search and rescue boats and a lot of activity, and police and sheriffs and stuff just cruising the river.
They're looking for clues that could help them find Elle Ragin, the 6-year-old missing from down in Northfield. The chief there revealing today she hasn't been seen since June 19th.
We are still extremely hopeful, but based on the information and the evidence we have at this time, we are concerned that we may not be able to find her.
The search only started last weekend when police say family members asked for a welfare check at their home, finding only Elle's mother, Lisa Wade, inside, dead from an apparent suicide. Her phone records revealing she was at the park near the river 2 days after Elle was last seen.
She told the deputy she lost her phone and car keys while hiking the trails in the park and she needed assistance.
In the weeks that followed, investigators say Wade seemed distraught that she was caught on camera in various places without her daughter and eventually the discovery of her belongings in the river. But the question remained, what happened to the girl rarely seen without her mom?
What has been described to us is that Elle and her mother had a very close relationship.
For now, the search continues, part of a case the chief can only describe as heartbreaking.
This is a very difficult investigation for everybody we have on this team.
Investigators are still trying to figure out what connections, if any, Wade and her daughter had to this area, but they say they do think that nobody else played a part in Elle's disappearance.
I guess that's it. I don't know. I can't get the other video to play, unfortunately. There was another interview that the guy had done, the police chief, and I think it had more information, but for some reason, I mean, I literally had the link up before live streaming. Now the website's down. Let's see if we can find an old version of the website. I don't think it's going to work. So I guess I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do that for a separate video. It's unfortunate. There was one other link too as well, but this was from yesterday. And they were saying that the park search ends. Public acts to watch the shoreline for 6-year-old Northfield girl. So, clearly not looking good. 100 volunteers on foot, several canine units, water patrol, sonar, a dive team, which is like, I mean, how far could this mother have really hit? If she's out there, the mother did something. I mean, I guess it's a big place. And they said the mother was out there, I think, for 2 days. Yeah, Northfield police on Tuesday said Ragin was last seen June 19. 2 days later, the mother, 39-year-old Lisa Wade, drove to the park. Wade's phone was shut off and never turned back on. Wade died of an apparent suicide, and that's it. Okay, so we'll leave it at that. I guess we'll have to see if I can maybe tomorrow or some other day. If I get this interview working, I'll just post a video, whatever, and we can listen to what else he had to say. But we'll be following the story. Now, two other things real quick, 2 hours later. I'm going to pull up this Virginia story. I always find it odd when parents do this kind of stuff. I'm going to pull up this Virginia story, and then I'm going to pull up a story that Sylvia had sent me, which I haven't even looked at the video, but it seemed pretty interesting. It's a local floater story. I was thinking of covering it. There's even this right here. Let's see.
The residents, they found a deceased 18-month-old inside. As they continued to check the perimeter of the residence, they found an adult male in the wooded area behind the house, deceased from apparent gunshot wound. The investigation at this point indicates that at some point in time during the day, the father, who was found deceased in the backyard, had left the child in the car for a period of time, causing them to die. This is a horrible tragedy on so many levels, and our hearts go out to the family and friends that are going to deal with this. But we would be remiss in not taking the opportunity for people to take this moment and realize how important it is to obviously check your vehicles.
This is the father that was referenced in a group, because some people were saying maybe an accident happened and then this mother killed herself. And so in this story, the father killed himself in an act of devotion and love. I guess that's the title. After leaving son in hot car. I don't know how it's devotion and love, but the family of a Virginia dad who took his own life after discovering he accidentally left his toddler son to die in his hot car has penned a heartbreaking obituary for the late father. Aaron Beck, who turned a gun on himself behind his home after finding his son Anderson dead, sacrificed his life to his son in an act of profound devotion and love. Wow. Beck, 37, was out with the 18-month-old Anderson when the tragic mishap occurred on June 28th in Chesterfield County, Virginia. There's the son right here. When police arrived at Beck's home, they found the car in the driveway with the back door still open and the child's car seat empty. Inside the house, they found the toddler dead, cops said. In a wooded area behind the home, Beck was found dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The father and son shared an obituary which described the little Anderson as an intelligent little boy who brought his family together and was deeply loved by his parents and surrounding family. Beck, a graduate of Drexel University, worked as a draftsman, although his most devoted focus was his son, Anderson, to whom he had gave enormous and endless love. The obituary states he was a generous, kind, caring, and soft with his son. The selflessness of his love was a testament to the possibilities of fatherhood, to the possibilities of the heart. And so there's a GoFundMe. I'm not sure how that's like an act of devotion or whatever, but act of love and devotion. I mean, I can't imagine the feeling. I mean, I can imagine making an accident like that. I just don't understand how that's a profound sacrifice and a profound devotion and love. That part I don't get. Let me show you one more thing. one more thing too, something, because I'm fishing right now a little bit, and I appreciate you guys coming on. I normally don't want to do late streams like this unless it's like a chase or something breaking. I'd like to do it like a little bit earlier in the afternoon. Yeah, it's true, Laura. Why didn't you call rescue? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. You guys remember that story I covered a long time ago about that guy? Was he in California? The guy that I think it was his daughter. He locked himself outside of the car and the girl was inside. Apparently the heater was on, allegedly. And he was shopping around because I guess he called some companies, like his girlfriend was there and his family came over. He wanted to find the cheapest price for a doorsman or a locksmith. And so he didn't let anybody go in the car. The little girl eventually lays down. He says she thinks she went to sleep. Anybody remember that on the channel? And so the little girl's there dying. And he's over there shopping to find the cheapest price of a locksmith because he didn't want to spend the money. And then the cops come. And then they're standing there for a while. And then eventually they're like, okay, we can't. Like, yo, we got to break the window, whatever. And so they break the window. And the girl was dead. That was pretty wild. Let me pull up this thing that Silvio sent me. We can watch this together. So this is a missing person in Florida, Miami. How's this thing up? Hold on, I gotta send it to myself. Nothing wants to work tonight, apparently. Let me try this link again. Okay, Silvio said it's a ghost story. Let's check it out. I'm gonna send it to myself real quick because I can't. Family finds cryptic note in car of missing Miami-Dade man with autism. Email it to myself. Okay. Oh, somebody sent me an email to radio interview. Okay, let's try that too. Maybe we can still salvage this. Let's see. I'm glad I checked my email. Okay, true levied crime. Okay, this is level-headed. You can play the radio station interview. Timestamp 52 minutes and 52 seconds. Well, thank you so much for that. That's so kind of you. So let's plug in your channel. If you guys want to give this person some love, let me get the link here. So, all right. So what we're gonna do first is we'll listen to the radio interview. And I'll plug this level-headed. I'll plug his channel in. And then we'll watch the Silvio story. And yeah, I appreciate the kindness on that. Sending me the link and the timestamp. So level-headed. Level-headed. Put the link. And then the timestamp was 52 minutes and 50.
I'm gonna see if no, Savannah, you're good. You keep going and talking about your that stuff, everything that you've marked. This and the same interview, or if it's new radio.
Listening to 95.1 FM and AM 1080 KYMN Northfield. We'll have sports for you in just a few minutes, but right now we do have Northfield's police chief, Mark Elliott, joining us. Chief, thank you so much for coming in today.
Good morning, Jeff.
Thank you,
Good
Level.
morning, listeners.
It has been a very eventful 4th of July weekend for a lot of different reasons, but we wanted to bring you in to give us kind of an update on what is the latest information you have on the missing girl, the 6-year-old Elle
Ragin.
Ragin, yes. What's the latest?
So we did a press conference yesterday with an update on kind of our latest information, and we have been searching Mississippi River Park up outside of Rice, Minnesota.
So Diggs is saying that this radio interview, I think it might have details of the suicide note or something like that. Maybe this website might have actually, somebody probably took this down intentionally. I don't know. So let's listen in and see.
Minnesota in Stearns County. That's where her cell phone last shut off, the mother. And so we searched that area pretty extensively over the last 3 days, and we have not been able to locate Elle, but we did locate actually Elle's cell phone, and then Lisa Wade, the mother's cell phone, car keys, and her purse. And that's obviously important to this case because we also discovered that the mother, Lisa Wade, had contact with the deputy on the 23rd there, and had said she was hiking and lost her purse, which contained her phone and keys, and needed help to be able to get another key to be able to leave. And so, so we know she was up there then, and you know, we're still looking for anybody that's had any information or had seen Elle or Lisa after June 19th. We've talked to some people who saw them together on the 19th, so we know she was there. You know, this is a tough case. I think everybody in the public knows that. I've certainly heard from a lot of people around town, and you know, they're concerned, and it's a heartbreaking case. And we're still hopeful that we can locate Elle. You know, maybe friends or something like that, but at this point we just don't have any evidence that's the case.
Chief Mark Elliott is with us. We're talking about the disappearance of Elle Ragin. From a standpoint of friends in the immediate circle, you've mentioned there was some contact with some family members during that time. Did she have many friends in this area that she talked with? Have you got any information from them?
You know, I would say she had a smaller friend group from what we can tell than your average person in the community. Her and Elle were very close, and she really spent a lot of time with Elle and focusing on that. Certainly some other parents through school, through sports, she had some interactions with, but not a lot that we can tell. And some family in the area, which she had some contact with, but again, not a lot. And of course, you know, the mother, Lisa Wade, by all indications, what we have so far is it looks like she committed suicide, and that makes it difficult. Obviously, we can't get any information there. And just this situation overall really highlights the importance of you know, having some support and the importance of mental health for all of us. You know, we've talked about it on the air here. We've got some new resources in the county here, our community-based coordinators, which can help people navigate that need for mental health support. They provide crisis mental health support, but they can also, just folks that are struggling day to day, they can put them in touch with resources to help folks. I'm sure we've all experienced those times where things just seem overwhelming to us, and it's really helpful to have someone to talk to. So we really encourage people, if they're struggling, reach out. You know, nationwide, we're going to see the rollout of 988 later this month.
What's that? 988?
Which is a crisis line for mental health, substance abuse, people who are battling things like that. They can dial 988 and they will be connected immediately with resources that can help them.
From the standpoint of the ongoing investigation, you've had the BCA, the FBI have been involved in this. Who is leading the investigation at this point going forward?
Well, it's our case, it's our investigation. But obviously, we're a small department. We have limited resources. So certainly those partners bring a lot more resources for us, both in the terms of people, investigators, but also technological capabilities. We mentioned that we have used some cell phone data to be able to track her movements, and working with those other partners, they have technical investigators that are very experienced and have the tools, software tools and things like that to help us analyze that data.
Police Chief Mark Elliott is with us. Anything else you'd like to pass along to the public about this particular case?
We've had folks reach out and say, hey, we'll come and help search. And certainly if we need that, we will reach out and we will ask for help from the public or from groups if we need that. We don't have anywhere to search right now other than the areas that we're aware of. If something does become available, we will make that announcement and ask for help.
There's one other event that happened over the weekend that has been brought to our attention by some neighbors in Greenvale area about a death of a young man over the weekend as well. It kind of got lost within all the
They took down both websites now, which is kind of interesting. So this interview was taken down, and also the link that had the suicide note information is no longer working as well. The one where it says, "I'm sorry, I love you all." Both websites, they took it down. Now, to confirm that like the whole thing is not shut down, it's just not the server. Let me just check out their whole server's down. Never mind. Their whole website's not working. Okay. I thought it was like a conspiracy. Oh my God, they took it down. No, I just think that website's not working for some reason. They're having issues. But thankfully we still got what we needed out of this. I was gonna say, damn, they're shutting it down.
Chaos that has been happening over the weekend, about a death of a young man over the weekend as well. It kind of got lost within all the chaos that has been happening over the weekend. Can you shed any light on a death in Greenvale Apartments?
Yeah, we did have.
You got the note?
All right, I wanted to stop there right there because that was all that they said about Elle there. That's a very good thing that they're speaking out about this. They're being very open in this investigation, which helps us see the facts and the information coming out.
Well, thank you, Level Headed. I appreciate that. And so, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like somewhat of an obvious story. We're still going to watch the Silvio video too. We got to check it out. I guess it's somewhat of an obvious story, but it's still kind of like weird. What happened was potentially some sort of accident. Why go through, you know what I'm saying? Because this guy that killed himself, for some reason, the link is not sending to myself. This guy that killed himself, the kid was deceased, I guess. Obviously, because the kid died in the car. And did they say the body was found? Where's the body found? The car seat was found. They arrived to the home. They found the car in the driveway and the back door still open and the child's car seat empty. Inside the house, okay, they found the toddler dead and in a wooded area behind the home. I wonder what that is too, that you have to separate yourself. Why? Or maybe he didn't want to do it around the child, even though the child's dead. But this guy from Virginia, it says he was inside the house. They found the toddler dead. So it brings the kid back home, I guess. Or, yeah. And in a wooded area behind the home, he shoots himself. All right, let me try. There we go. I got the video now. It's weird it took that long. And so this mother, I mean, I guess we have to assume that's her suicide note. Mother went through the means to like really hide
A safety alert.
the daughter. I mean, that's kind of cruel. I mean, so what? They can't put her to rest? They can't bury her? You know, what about the other family members or whatever? Just odd. If she's dead. Who knows? Maybe thanks, Diggs. Maybe she's alive. So this one, just another offhand story. The main story was Elle, but then we covered this guy in Virginia that killed himself, briefly. And then also, I just want to touch on this. I haven't even seen this yet, but Silvio said this was kind of interesting. An autistic man in Miami.
Southwest Miami-Dade, where police are trying to find this young man who hasn't been seen since Monday. The 20-year-old has autism, and his family is worried sick.
And let's get right over to Local 10's Leanne Morahone. She's live with the latest on the search. I know you've talked to this family, and they are just desperate to find their son.
Yeah, they have no idea where he is, and they are so desperate.
I don't get that either, Ziggy. I'll never understand that.
As you said, to bring him home. They say he does have autism and is very trusting. He was planning to go to Miami-Dade College, according to what he said before he left home. The problem is it was a holiday, the school was closed, and they haven't seen him since.
This is the exact outfit 20-year-old Alejandro Suarez was wearing when he last left his Westchester home Monday. He's captured on home surveillance video walking out the front door just after 8 a.m. with his backpack and getting into his blue Honda Civic before driving off.
So they say there's no school, but he's like pretending to go to school?
I hear he saying, Mamacita, I I'm coming and open the door. He's not here.
His mother, Odalis Heredia, is worried. Alejandro has autism and hasn't returned home since Monday or had any contact with his family.
He didn't answer any call.
Odalis says Alejandro told her he was going to Miami-Dade College to work on something for school, which she found odd considering Monday was the July 4th holiday.
He said, don't worry.
After hours went by with no sign of Alejandro, family went to MDC to look for him. Odalis says a security guard remembered seeing him.
This, yes, it's the person. He parking here, and I say, no, the campus is closed, go there to the chair.
The family says they found Alejandro's car in the parking lot of this adjacent church with a note inside.
I say, I want to go to be free, I don't want to be helpless person.
The family does not believe he wrote it himself.
What? That is odd. It is very odd.
That's not him. He doesn't write like that.
Whatever the circumstances, Alejandro remains missing, and his family has a message to relay tonight.
We all waiting for you, Alex. Come home, please. Don't make mom and sister suffer.
They say he wants to be free, and they don't believe that he wrote the note. Alejandro Suarez. Imagine someone going missing at a modern college and security guard was the last person to see him. Where are the cameras? It seems like he was never inside. It seems like they told him to leave the parking lot. If he left on his own, I wish him the best and pray he stays safe. Some people want their freedom. They say that the note does not look like his handwriting, or did you zone out and come to conclusions before watching the entire segment? Actually, it says the family doesn't believe he wrote the note, or did you zone out and start hearing things as well? Absolutely nothing handwritten. The universe. I don't know. Let me see if there's anything else I can find on him. Kind of weird. Strange. Suarez, Miami. Missing Miami. A couple more articles. Let's pull up some articles and see if we... I mean, this was supposed to be for actual video that I was going to make, but let's see what's out so far. They say, okay, 20 years old and good physical and mental health. Wait, what? Found out of state? What? Okay, well, I guess I'm not doing a video. What? All right, let's get the big screen. What happened to Alejandro, man? Alejandro, what were you doing? You left or no? You want to be free? Now I can play around. So he was found out of state. Miami-Dade police confirmed Thursday. I wonder what Silvio thinks about this. I wonder if he's working or he's out of work. They didn't confirm which state he was located in or how he traveled. Yeah, because he left his car. So what was he doing? They found a cryptic note in his car. He didn't answer any calls. So the news is looking for him now. They're trying to press him. Heredia said before her son left Monday, he told her he was going to Miami-Dade College on the campus to work on some school stuff. She found it odd because there's no school, it's a holiday. He said, don't worry, it's only a short time. They found his car in the church. Security guard, blah, blah, blah. The note said, I want to be free. I don't want to be helpless person. He doesn't write like that. If he didn't write like that, who did it? Did he run away with somebody? Silvio, call me. Ok, vamos a hacerlo ahora entonces. Vamos a llamarte. I want to know qué tú crees de esta cosa. Porque es una jodienda, ¿verdad? Vamos a ver. What happened, man? What's going on with these kids? We think he out partying, getting high or something? Or does he have a lover? Something like that? Silvio. I got 2 phone numbers for you. I don't know why I have this old number. Okay. Okay. Rose the Plug sent me an interesting article as well. All right. Silvio, so let me call you up. I guess I'll just call you on Google Voice. Oh, my number is different. I changed the Google Voice number. So if you see a different number, that's me. Alejandro. Yo, bro. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
What happened with Alejandro?
He was found, right?
Yeah. They said in another state, but in the car they left a note, I want to be free. Leave me alone or something like, or I want to be free and something. I don't know.
Man, look.
It's Asperger's.
He had to be traveling with somebody because he left his car. How the fuck are you going to be out of state? I don't think he has the right mindset to buy a Greyhound ticket. Ain't no Greyhound ticket around that area.
Right.
That's my area. So.
And this one says
he
it
left
different.
With somebody, man.
Yeah.
I think he's pretty smart. He probably already planned this.
Ooh. It also says here, Heredia said her son was found in Georgia and didn't know the man who took him.
See,
the man who
it
took
sounds
him.
like a man. It sounds like an older person, bro. It sounds like that Naomi case too. Remember?
Kind of sound like Naomi, yeah. Yeah. So I wonder, did this person lure him or he went willingly? Was like, oh, come on, man, Did that person, was the person...
All right. Let me ask you something. Maybe the people could answer me. Like, obviously he's overage. So he's not like he's a minor. Mm-hmm. Let's say you persuade him to go, but does that count as a kidnap? Because even though you persuaded him, he's not like a regular, like up there, like his mind, He's autism, right? He has autism.
So in this other article, so it says I'm scouring like a bunch of different articles and getting little pieces and bits. And so they're saying he has Asperger's. And then in another article, it says here the mother said her son has only been driving for a year and was nonverbal until he was 5. Okay, so he can talk now, but he was nonverbal until 5.
Also, like, I was going to say, like, you never know, man. Like, most of these parents, bro, they abandon their kids because of their sexuality, and then...
Oh, James Terry.
Like, so maybe, he's something wrong with his sexuality, or I don't know, maybe somebody accepted him, they understood him, but it's a man, the kid's only 20. I don't know. It's hard to say, man, unless he says, like, oh, I wanted to go with him. But then again, you're going to say that the man brainwashed him.
Yeah, I don't know that we're ever going to find out more than what they put. Like, there's little bits and pieces here, but like once he's home, a lot of times it's something crazy or something happened, and then once they're home, the parents don't want to talk about it anymore. They kind of want it to go away, I guess. I mean,
so here's my thing: how did they find him? He probably had his cell phone. They probably picked his tower up, or
The mother also said that he has no known friends. I guess he don't have no friends, but he plays online video games.
So he probably met the person online.
You met him online, yeah. Or on an app.
What type of app? And then again, like meeting a guy. You know what I'm saying? Not meeting a woman.
They're saying it's a higher functioning autism, Asperger's, and somebody E. Johnson said, "I have Asperger's. I do what I want. We're functional." And I remember I remember Naomi was high functioning too, so she could do whatever. She was super smart. I saw her videos and all that stuff, and she was fully functioning. Naomi. I mean, I guess as long as he's safe, but it's kind of strange. I wonder. I mean, if he was taken against his will, I would think maybe they press charges, but pursue it or something.
So here's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's not like he was found like in Hollywood or Pembroke Pines. This man went off. The man traveled from wherever, Georgia, to pick the kid up and take him back to Georgia. That to me sounds like you up to no good, bro. You going to do something with this kid. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, the man picked an abandoned spot, like where nobody's there, that the cottage is closed. That church only works Sundays. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how the hell does this man know all this shit, man? He came from Georgia to the kid and meet him there. Or like you said, or maybe the kid was like, meet me here.
Right. Weird, man. All right, bro. Well, thanks. Yeah, I was kind of curious. Thanks for sending the story earlier.
Yeah, for sure, man.
All right. We'll talk, bro. Peace.
All right, good dog. Peace.
I want to play one more thing, too, since we're here. Nancy Grace. And this coincides with this story, I guess, because this one says missing autistic girl lured online. So maybe depending on maybe depending on the situation, I guess maybe they're more susceptible depending. Let's see.
In Georgia, where is Kelly?
Anybody know who this is?
A 16-year-old autistic girl vanishes from her own home in Georgia. Where is Kelly? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thanks for being with us at Fox Nation and Sirius XM 111. First of all, take a listen to our friends at CBS 46.
My daughter is Kaylee Jones. She's 16 and a half, almost 17 years old. So I was here at work, and my wife called me about 7:15, and she said Kaylee was gone.
Her parents haven't seen her for about a week, and it's hard for Daniel and Brenda Jones to go to sleep at night wondering where their daughter might be.
And it's just gut-wrenching knowing she's out there somewhere and we don't know where she's at. All of the worst thoughts come to our minds. She's our daughter, and we desperately want her back.
Straight out to you, Alexis Tereszczuk. What do we know about Kelly vanishing?
She is 16 years old. She was in her own home until about 11 o'clock at night. And then her parents believe that she may have climbed out of a window and left the house, likely meeting up with someone that she may have met online. So she is only 16 years old. She had her phone taken away by her parents. She got in trouble. But she still had access to her laptop. And on her laptop, she was chatting with complete strangers online. And her parents are afraid that she has maybe met up with one of them. And they do not believe that these people had good intentions at all. She's very vulnerable. She's 16 years old. They say that she's special needs. She's on the autism spectrum. She has medication that she needs to take that she has not taken since she left the home. And
so this is Georgia also? Is that what they said, right? It's the same place where this guy ended up. What?
Very worried that the people with her are getting her in a very bad situation.
Well, not only that, we know Jessica Morgan, again, this 16-year-old girl who goes missing out of Georgia, out of Carroll County, that's on the northwest side of the state. So easy to cross state lines right there. We know she was talking to people online on Snapchat.
Ooh,
and the parents got worried because again, she's autistic, and even let me just say, normal teen child probably doesn't understand the dangers online, much less a child who has any sort of a learning problem. They take her phone away, the dad says, on Monday. By Wednesday, she's gone.
Yeah, and this is another interesting point. When they took her phone away, Nancy, she apparently got onto her computer and started interacting in chat rooms. And there's this one service that doesn't require you to sign up, and it automatically defaults to pair you up with other individuals. And these people can just be random people.
What service was that? Do you know?
I can't remember the name of it, but when I read about it, it was very scary.
Is somebody jumping in?
Yeah, it's Alexis. So the website, it's spelled O-M-E-G-L-E. So Omegle. I'm not sure quite how to say it, but it's
O-M-E-G-L-E.
Yeah, that
you go to
sounds correct.
omegle.com. It says talk to strangers, and so you don't have to sign up.
Oh dear Lord!
Oh, it's horrible.
Exactly
and
right.
there's no requirement.
It's like Omegle. It's like Omegle. It's what it looks
There's
like.
no requirement to sign up for this thing, so you can just be randomized for this.
And they put you in a private chat room with a random stranger right away, and y'all just chat.
Talk to someone you don't know with a random stranger.
As if signing up is going to stop anybody, really. But I guess it just makes it easier.
Take a listen to our friends at CBS 46.
Kaylee is autistic, and because of that, her parents are afraid their daughter was more vulnerable to any online predators.
My wife found that she was talking to like 4 or 5 different guys via Snapchat.
They took her phone away on Monday, and by Wednesday morning, Jones was gone. Without her phone on her, it's making it more difficult to track her down.
You never think it's going to happen to you. I tried to, run this and enforce this and reinforce this with in her mind that she cannot trust whoever.
So there's drama going on. This might be a good story for us to cover. I'm going to keep playing the audio, but there is drama going on. Parents of missing 16-year-old Georgia teen slam police for treating her as a runaway, despite the fact that she has special needs and express fears she has left the country and is a victim of trafficking. It reminds me of Naomi, too, the whole thing with Naomi. But Naomi, the private investigator, and a lot of us really feel that she actually did leave on her own from that particular story. And what was going on in the Mormons and the whole sexuality thing and all that. When police arrived, they didn't do a proper search of our house. They didn't use search dogs, nothing. Kaylee is very trusting. Someone lured her away. Since their daughter went missing on June 14th, Danielle and Brenda Jones said little has been done by the authorities. The parents said their daughter has special needs and is on the autism spectrum and needs her daily medication, which she has been off since she disappeared. Mother said although she's 16 years old, she acts much younger. Mentally, she is like a young kid who wouldn't know if she's in danger. Kaylee's mom said when she spoke with Carroll County investigators, she pleaded with them to issue a Maddie's alert, a statewide emergency alert that is used for disabled or elder persons. She said they told them that their daughter did not qualify because she was not considered. Because she was considered a high functioning autistic. Why isn't she being put out Why isn't she being put out as Maddie's call? She said to the dailymail.com, "This is horrific that no one can help." Kaylee's dad chimed in. "It's crazy. It's hard to work. It's hard to be home because she isn't there." Brenda said that many nonprofit agencies are calling her to see how they can help, which she said is helping us to keep going. Kaylee's parents shared, but they did not respond to several requests for comment. All right, let me play the audio while we look at some of the pictures.
She sees.
It's a message for parents out there. Keep an eye on your children's use of social media so that they don't become the next target.
They prey upon these kids, and it's sickening.
The Carroll County Sheriff's Office says they are reviewing Jones's social media records and followed up with the last persons she had contact with. They are still actively searching for Jones and hasn't ruled out possibilities on what may have happened leading up to her disappearance.
You know, Dr. Angie Arnold, the parents are distraught right now trying to find this girl. And one thing I don't like, I mean, it's a fact, yes, and Alexis was correct and Joe Scott was correct to say it, but the fact that she climbed out of her window, this is a little girl that doesn't know any better. It reminds me of Nicole Lovell, a 13-year-old little girl who met up with a much older guy, former honor student. David Eisenhower was his name, I believe, an engineering major at Virginia Tech. And they were having a sex relationship. And he said he wanted to marry her. She crawled out of her window one night and she was murdered. You can't blame the girl for crawling out of the window. She's a child. She's a teen girl.
Right. And just like Nancy, this little girl, if she's on the spectrum, then what that means is she's got a more immature way of thinking than a typical 16-year-old who is not on the spectrum, who is, as we've mentioned, who they are also hard to tell, don't do this. How many times do we tell our children don't do this?
Exactly.
So if you've got a little girl who's immature for her age because of her autism, and she really can't make good decisions, but she hears, but somebody's baiting her. They're telling her something that she wants to hear.
Right. Guys, we're learning that she may have had a book bag with her, dark blue with a horse on the front, and the word Mazzy or Kelly on it, wearing black tennis shoes, like Converse tennis shoes. If you have any information, please contact the Carroll County Sheriff's.
Okay. Oh. Mm-hmm. Okay, just kind of looking at some of the information. They got the missing flyer here. The research people are sending, team sending it. I'll probably just clip this for tomorrow, maybe and post it to Facebook or even YouTube, maybe just this portion of the stream. Seems like an interesting story to cover. Kaylee Grace Jones, 16. Kaylee Jones was last seen around 11 p.m. Eastern at her family's home in the 700 block of Whooping Creek Church Road in Carrollton, Georgia on June 14th, 2022. Her clothing currently unknown, but potentially may be carrying a blue book bag with a horse and the word Mazzy or Kaylee in the front. Kaylee is on the autism spectrum and has been without her medication. She needs urgent medical care. Her family suspects she may have been groomed by a stranger she met online and thus in danger. She doesn't have a cell phone or any other electronic device on her. If you see Kaylee or have any information on her whereabouts, please call investigator Courtney Short of the Carroll County Sheriff's Office. Over here it says Kaylee was last seen June 14 around 11 p.m. at her residence in a rural. I always have a rural. It sounds so weird saying it. Rural. I should be able to roll it. Rural area of Carrollton, Georgia. The missing girl's parents said the last time they saw their daughter was when they said goodnight to her. The next morning, they found her bed empty. More than 8 hours had passed. The frantic mother rushed to call Kaylee's dad and called the Carroll County Sheriff's Office for assistance. The parents said they believe their daughter climbed out of the second-story window. Second-story window. They said she had no cell phone on her since her parents had taken it away days before she'd vanished. So was she like pissed off? Was she rebelling? I don't know. 2 days before she went missing, her parents had taken her cell phone away because she was communicating with strangers online. And after her phone was confiscated, they said she used her laptop. Omegle was found to be one of the websites Kaylee may have frequented, which I don't know how you could track anybody on there if it's trackable. According to its website, Users are randomly paired together to socialize in a one-on-one chat sessions where they chat anonymously. The site is free and there is no registration required. The parents said Kaylee was very upset by the punishment, okay, and they later found out what she exactly she was doing behind their backs. Okay, my wife found she was talking to 4 or 5 guys via Snapchat. He added, we didn't know about her chatting online until she went missing. She was hiding it from us. They also said they had no idea how many people she spoke to online. 2 of the people, 20-year-old and 22-year-old boy she had met, were interviewed by the police and were cleared. One of the boys told police that Kaylee snuck out. Wait, no, we reverse that. 2 of the people, 20-year-old and 22-year-old boy she had met, were interviewed by the police and cleared. Okay, so both cleared. One of the boys told police that Kelly had snuck out of the house a few weeks ago and that next morning she had been in her room and the parents had no idea. So this could have been a frequent, common occurrence where she's just sneaking out. Parents had no idea. You know, we had no clue she had done this. Neither did any of her friends, Brenda said. They described their daughter as someone who is very naive, trusting, and someone who would be susceptible to online grooming. Now they fear she may be out of the country, which a lot of people, of course, this is where they're first. Even Naomi, they were saying the same thing, you know. But she's been missing for a while now, though, right? Let's see. Since June 14. Could be wearing jean shorts, t-shirt, black Adidas, tennis shoes. Uh-oh. So the parents said they already spent $5,000 on a private investigator, hoping the PI would find their daughter. James, you out there? But said once the money ran out, so did their interest in the case. It was done with it. So they dropped 5 stacks. The private investigator dipped. We don't think they were invested, nor were they helpful. They did what they could have done. Some of the items that said their daughter took was a bank card, her social security card. Interesting. To take a social security card. Her birth certificate. That's weird. And about $30 to $50 in cash. $30 to $50 in cash, along with 2 or 3 outfits and a pair of shoes. I checked her bank card. No transactions have been made, Kaylee's dad said. He added, she wouldn't have known to take her social security card, birth certificate without someone telling her to do so. Kaylee's mother recalled another incident that happened in February when she took her daughter's phone. They said they were both working in the yard and Kaylee had walked out the house because she was mad at her mother. Said they took her phone then too. Then she was gone for 4 hours. Her mother said the police brought her back. So she's done this before. She got into her car with an older woman because she was lost and the woman took her to her house, which was nice of her, and called police. Well, yeah, if you run into the wrong person though. Scared that she got into a stranger's car. So glad the stranger was good. She added that she doesn't think she can get hurt. She had a $50 Amazon card on her and thought it was good enough. Kaylee's one of 5 children. She has 4 brothers ranging in age from 19 to 22. Her father called her princess. The parents said they moved to Georgia. Georgia again. Synchronicities. Everything's Georgia and Florida. Kind of. Yeah. Georgia and Florida. From Florida to Georgia from Florida in August 2021 for a better job opportunity and for a better life for their daughter. They said their daughter has been homeschooled. Kaylee, we want you home. You're not in trouble. If you're mad at us because we took your phone, just let someone know you're alive. Clay's mom added, Clay, you don't have to go to school in August. We can stay homeschooled and you don't have to work anymore if you don't want to. 5'8", 135 pounds, long brown hair, wavy hair, and brown eyes. We already said that. I didn't know I was going to have to read so much. LTL says, are her siblings adopted? I don't know. Good question. Oh, hell no. Somebody said, I'm sure Josh Duggar knows exactly what website she's on. She'll be found in a Florida motel with a stranger from the internet. Any bets? Hopefully she's okay. Damn. Mom said adoptive. Mom wouldn't let her visit her brother. A lot of the kids are doing that these days. They get pissed off with the parents and they're just like, screw it. They're going to do what they want to do. rebelling, and there's people out there waiting, for these kids. And a lot of the times, a lot of the stories I've covered, a lot of them turn up okay. I don't know her because she's been missing for a while, but there's been quite a few stories that I've covered, even locally, Miami, where some of these people were just like partying or. The day she disappeared, she had a psychiatrist appointment, and apparently the doctor no-showed. Ooh, the doctor didn't show up? 1 year after they moved, they finally find a psychologist to see her for therapy and meds. Doctor reschedules a week before Kaylee disappears, and her appointment was set for 7:15 the day she disappeared. Oh shit, is she waiting with the doctor? That was just a tweet. Major critical things to take notice of. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll leave it at that. We'll definitely kind of keep an eye on the story. It seems pretty interesting. iCkEdMeL, what about the 15-year-old Owen Lynn out of Auburndale, Florida? I never even heard of Auburndale. Left home, never heard of again. Where is she? I haven't heard of that story. Unless I covered it. I don't think I covered that one. There was a few of them that I've covered that they come back home. Oh yeah, Alicia Navarro. I remember that one. She was only 14, autistic, and also went out the bedroom. Been missing for 3 years now. I think I might have covered that. I think I might have covered that story. I think tomorrow I'm gonna try to clip that portion. Alicia, I feel like I did. I thought that's kind of ringing a bell for me. Oh, I did cover this story long time ago. Once upon a time ago.
Bras fit small chested.
She disappeared from Arizona. I don't know what happened to that story. That was a long time ago. Oh, this shit was. I think I remember this. Yeah. Oh, this was sad. Yeah. I did like a 30, almost 40-minute video on this shit. A long time ago.
And I hope that
No clip. She actually left a note behind saying she would be back, and she didn't come back.
I ask for you to please have compassion. I love my daughter and I miss her very much. And I just want to make sure she's okay. I ask for you to please let her contact me. Tell me where she is.
Another spectrum, right?
I am in a lot of pain. My life has not been the same.
Oh, it's about to be over.
And I miss her very much. I'm not sure what happened or what's going on. But I want you to know that whatever happened, I do forgive you.
Like a pretty long video. I guess she's still missing, but the family did like press conferences. I think multiple press conferences, and still nothing from Arizona, I believe. So Okay. No, the night is still young. No, I gotta call it for now. But and yeah, and this stream went longer than I thought. She had that expensive comic book with her too. Never has turned up. I remember Sophia Reeder too. Still missing. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. But all right, yeah, I'm gonna head out, man. Thank you guys so much. Please hit the like button on the way out. I'm probably gonna. Oh, let me. Shit. I know this is. Let me just get it real quick because Thank you for the super chats yesterday, Hannah. Thank you, Painting Services by Steve. Slim Hauser. Says Jim Terry, you are eligible for reward. MH, thank you so much. Betsy Leak, thank you for being a member for 5 months. And Jasmine, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Damn, time flies, huh? Appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Take care. Peace. Adios. Don't leave. The night is going.